Welcome back to the Tarble Arena, everyone, as we get set for Lady Red basketball this afternoon. First time ever, Carthage taking on the Knox Prairie Fire, joined now by head basketball coach Tim Bernero. Tim, you find yourself 5-3 overall, and I sense this is a key game for your club because you want to get off to a good start with the trip to Florida coming up next week.
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday about breaking the season up in segments sometimes, and we played the tournaments and the non-conference games in November, had a pretty good start there, just got nicked in overtime at Chicago. Then you got the three conference games, didn't go the way we'd hoped to. Some injuries jumped up in the middle of that. Now we're in a run of 4 non-conference games that lead us back to the restart of the conference. So we'd like to get some momentum, take care of our end here, play well. A home game here, then the 2 on the trip, and then a tough game at Ripon too.
Going back to the game on Saturday, you've had a week now to kind of regroup, if you will, but did you ever in your wildest dreams think Maddie Kelber was going to come out with 21 in the first half and finish with 32 for the ball game?
We could tell because she was anxious about not playing, that she was energetic and ready to get started and get back on the court. We were hoping that it was good energy because sometimes, you can put yourself in a situation where you just try to do too much and you lose a little bit of control of things. But she was in a really good spot there, and she's a scorer. She's capable of scoring like that, and getting off to the start she did. She got the ball in spots where she's comfortable. Made some shots there, hit a couple threes, and it was we needed that start, to stabilize our offense a little bit, and then we kind of got going and so yeah, it was not terribly surprised, but when you looked up and saw 32, like wow, that was a pretty big number.
We know the team can score. You've got some capable scoring, but I got to believe you're pretty proud of where your team is defensively. You're number 1 in the conference right now in field goal defense, number 1 against the 3-point field goal defense, and top 4, top 5 in point total.
And it's funny, coaches are never happy, are they? You look at some of those numbers, you go, wow, I guess we are, but there's certain things like, with Augustana, we had trouble guarding them off the dribble, and sometimes it was lineups that were a little in their favor as far as quickness, but we've got to figure, we worked on that this week because we didn't have a game midweek. We let's work on just guarding the lane, guarding our people off the dribble, getting in help positions and doing those things. And I told the kids, I said, we can't be satisfied where we're at right now. This group's still got room to grow, and we got to keep getting better. And that's one of the things we're working on. I think when we get that tightened up and play kind of tied together as 5 defensively, and stick and take the information we give them with film and scouting reports, I think we still got another step in us from there. And if we can do that, then it'll be even tougher. That's what's funny about the Augustana game. You look at it. And we held them, I think, 28 or 29% shooting, which is fantastic. But then they shot 30-some free throws. So you got to, there's always one little, there's one hole here. You got to fix it. Plug that one up and go get, another one springs up. So you got to go from there.
Your opponent this afternoon, the Knox Prairie Fire out of Galesburg, Illinois, 7-2, 2-1 in the Midwest Conference. Team picked for middling in that conference, and I guess I find it hard to believe, given the old location of the old college at Carthage and where Knox College is, this is the first time these two schools have ever met in women's basketball.
Yeah, that is strange because of where the old campus was. Why that wouldn't have been too long of a trip to have these teams play. It's funny how you kind of go through the list sometimes in the region trying to find teams to play, and we play 25 games a year, and somehow the 25th is it's like baseball. The last outs, those last 3 outs are always the hardest. Well, that last 25th game's hard. We had somebody on, they kind of dropped out. There's ways you look online and people post that they need a game, and they posted it, and I called them, and okay, let's do it. It's a Saturday, so it's not as terrible. Even though it's probably a 4-hour trip for them. We make trips around that length in our league, so if we have to go back there, it's not a bad thing. And it's kind of fun to play different teams of different styles and see what you can learn about your own team.
It's a young team, and relative to the fact that there are only 4 seniors on this team, and really the 2 leaders on this team, a sophomore and a junior, Jerry Lynn McCall out of Arkansas, the sophomore guard, and Morgan Potter, the 6'2" forward.
Yeah, I mean they're well put together offensively, from the standpoint that McCall can really score, inside and out, make some threes, drive the ball to the basket, even go in the post a little bit. Potter's a big traditional post player that can, if you let her get her position, she's dangerous. She can score, at a high percentage. The Huffman kid is hurt. I'm guessing like people were when Maddie was hurt. Is she playing today? Is she not playing today? She hasn't played the last 3 or 4, and she's 60% from the floor. And they can, they have a point guard that's very solid, and they put 3-point shooters in the other 2 spots. So you have to do a good job. So that's we want to be able. It's a nice challenge for us to see how if we can take away their strengths from each of those kids and shut them down a little bit as a group.
Do they pattern themselves after a team in the conference? Who would you hold them up to as far as their style of play?
Probably more of an Elmhurst style, I think. It's interesting. A couple years ago, they were in the system stuff, and they've kind of phased out of that. And now, defensively from them, they've played 95% of the year in a 2-3 zone. So, that'll be interesting for us because we do have a lot of shooters. We can't get too trigger happy. We have to still involve the post players and get the ball close to the basket so we can break them down a little bit. But this could be, if we get hot, it could be one of those high powered where we make 10, 15 threes. But we've got to have a balance as we do that.
Your keys for the game here today?
I think the defensive end from our side. I want us to get better at scouting report defense as well as just one-on-one, guard your person and, getting in the right spots, whether it's in the post or on the wing. That's stuff that we're not completed yet. We do it a lot of the time, but we need to do it all the time. And I think the next step of doing that and making Knox have to play a little bit out of sorts. I think if we can do that to them, that'll be a good change for us.
Good luck today. Go get them.
Okay, thanks, John.
Head basketball coach Tim Bernero joining us on the pregame. Carthage getting set to take on Knox College out of Galesburg, Illinois. We'll be back with starting lineups and tip-off right after this on AM 1050 WLIP. Pretty good crowd getting set for this one here from the Tarble Arena in Kenosha. Carthage Lady Red basketball taking on Knox College. A full slate of games on the women's side today in the CCIW. Later on tonight, a big matchup in the region. It'll be UW-Stevens Point in Bloomington, Illinois to take on Illinois Wesleyan. North Central will host Dubuque, and Augustana is taking on Linfield. A couple of finals from earlier this afternoon. Wheaton improved their record to 6-3, knocking off Finlandia 85-50, and Milliken defeated Lawrence today 70-38. That game in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. We're set for our ball game here tonight, Carthage and Knox, and we're ready for our national anthem performed by the Carthage Pep Band.
Captain Frank Bavering, a former Carthage student who died in Vietnam in 1970, flies a gift to college from his parents. Remember, Captain Bavering paid tribute to all who sacrificed their lives for our country and honor those who put themselves in harm's way in service to America. To honor America, please remain standing for the playing of our national anthem by the Carthage College Pep Band.
pep band with our national anthem this afternoon from the Tarble Arena on the campus of Carthage College. The starting lineups for the Knox College Prairie Fire under head coach Emily Klein. They will start at a guard, Geraldine McCall. McCall is a 5'8 sophomore of Lanoke, Arkansas, averaging almost 16 points, 8 rebounds per game. Morgan Potter at a forward, 6'2", a junior from Huntington Beach, California. Talia Ellis will get a start at a guard, a 5'4 junior out of Chandler, Arizona. Kira Huffman will return to the lineup today. She missed the last 3 ball games because of an injury. Huffman is a 6-foot forward out of Sacramento, California, averaging 12 points, 9.5 rebounds. And Carly Thorne rounding out the starting lineup. Thorne is a 5'8 guard, a junior out of Henderson, Nevada. It'll be McCall, Potter, Ellis, Huffman, and Thorne for the Prairie Fire of Knox College. To the scores table we go. Phil Burwell with the starting lineups of the Carthage Lady Reds.
And now, introducing your Carthage College Lady Red. At guard, a 5'8 junior from Sycamore High School in Sycamore, Illinois, number 25, Bailey Gilbert. At forward, a 5'10 junior from Wilmot Union High School in Wisconsin, number 3, Rachel Sidlowski. At forward,
So the starting lineup will be Maddie Kalber, Morgan Harris, and Bailey Gilbert at the guards, with Rachel Sidlowski and Maggie Berrigan at the forwards for head coach Tim Bernero. We apologize, we did not have our audio down at the scorers table, so we apologize for that. Our officials for tonight's ball game, it'll be Abby Burmeister, Steve Matuszewski, and Blaine Hilgendorf. Prairie Fire in the purple jerseys, purple shorts trimmed out in the white and gold. Lady Reds in the home whites, white jerseys, white shorts trimmed out in red and black numerals. Reds looking for their 6th win of the year. Prairie Fire already at 7-2. First ever meeting between these two schools this afternoon here at the Tarble Arena. Sidlowski will jump center. She will go up against Kira Huffman. And the opening tip brought down by the Lady Reds. They'll work it left to right as we view it here from the beautiful Tarble Arena. As Morgan Harris had a little bit of trouble on the dribble. Gets it off to Sidlowski, back up top to Harris. 2-3 zone here by Knox. Bailey shoots over the zone. Missing, rebound Sidlowski. Gets it back out to Kalber. Get a 2-3 zone here for the Prairie Fire much of the season. Kalber will hit from the outside, missing. A back rim miss, and the rebound cleared out by the Prairie Fire. Down with it is Talia Ellis. Gets it back up top. Into the wing position to Potter. Reversing around left side to Ellis again. Harris out on her, man-to-man defense. We got a whistle away from the play. And it's going to go on Sidlowski, banging inside with Morgan Potter. And Sidlowski at 5'10", Potter at 6'2". That'll be one of the key matchups inside. Prairie Fire ball right at the basket, looking for our first score of the ball game. Geraldine McCall with it now. Gets it off on the right side, up top to Ellis. Ellis now driving into the paint. Kick back to McCall. Back to Ellis. Now try to get it back. Almost stolen by Kalber as getting the shot away was Thorne. Missing. Rebound Morgan Harris, one of the leading rebounders in the CCIW. Harris just under 10 rebounds per game. And they set up in the 2-3 zone. Kalber left side, fires right side to Bailey Gilbert, inside to Berrigan. Tried to toss it behind her to Sidlowski in the low post, and it was broken up and taken away by McCall. Now Ellis across midcourt. Ellis behind the arc on the right wing. Continues the dribble. Now it needs some help. Nobody came out for it. Now gets it off into the hands of McCall. 13 to shoot. McCall through the paint, shoots a bounce pass to the right block. Huffman, her shot there, no good. Rebound Sidlowski, clears it out to Harris. Harris across midcourt, left to right. Works it down the left side, dumps it behind her to Kalber. Kalber takes the dribble middle of the floor. Back to Harris, left side to Berrigan, low post. Back up top to Kalber for three and in. Maddie Kalber able to drill the three from the top of the circle off the feed from Sidlowski in the low post. 3-0 Lady Reds, 2 minutes into our first quarter. With it now is McCall. Works it off far wing to Ellis, back to McCall. Got away with a walk on the drive to the basket. Shot blocked by Berrigan. Picked up by Bailey Gilbert, takes it across midcourt on the dribble. Gilbert down the right side. To the right post it goes to Sidlowski. Back up top, Harris all alone for three. And that one off the rim, no good. And the rebound to Berrigan. She'll dribble out of traffic, hands it back to Gilbert. Gilbert for three, that one's in and out, no good. Harris with the offensive rebound, her stick back too strong. And it rolls off the right side, picked off by McCall. Outlets to Ellis across midcourt. 3-0 Lady Reds, 7:20 to go here in our first quarter. Potter cut off nicely by Kalber. Through the paint, swings it back out. McCall again got a stutter step, almost walked. Fires up the shot, no, and the rebound pulled down by Sidlowski. Reds crashing the boards here, 7-2 advantage on the glass. Now Harris down the paint, kick out to the wing. Kalber for three, got it. Back-to-back triples for Maddie Kalber. 6-0 lead for the Lady Reds. We're 3 minutes in here at the Tarble Arena in Kenosha. Kalber with 32 a week ago against Augustana. Now works it off near side McCall. Back up top, Potter for three. On the way, short. Rebound into the corner. Picked up by Huffman. Gives it back to Ellis. Now to McCall. Back over to Huffman on the right side. Down low right, Ellis. Back up top, McCall with 15 to shoot. McCall now puts it on the floor, gets her on Gilbert. Slings it off to her left to Potter. The 20-footer left side, no good. Sidlowski with a screen out and the rebound. Hands it off to Morgan Harris. Harris across midcourt, top of the circle to Kalber left side. Inside it goes to Berrigan, back out to Gilbert. Now to Harris, reversing left side, Kalber. To Harris, puts it on the floor, head down drives. Now the dump back to Gilbert for three. That one's on the way, no good. And the rebound pulled in by Potter. 6-0 Reds, 5:50 to go here, first quarter. McCall on the near wing, guarded by Gilbert. Gets a screen from Potter, dumps it back to Ellis. Ellis back out to Potter. Morgan Potter for the three. That barely grazed iron. Gilbert underneath with the rebound. Carthage out-rebounding the Fire, 9-4. Kalber for three, good, off the left wing. Maddie Kalber, 9, Knox College, nothing. Timeout, Prairie Fire. 5:26 to go here in this first quarter. Timeout, a 30-second timeout taken by the Prairie Fire. Lady Reds 3 of 9, 33%. 3 of 8 behind the arc, 37%. Kalber with all 9 points thus far. Prairie Fire 0 for 7 shooting the ball, 0 for 2 behind the arc. Reds have out-rebound the Prairie Fire 9-4 here in the early going. Haley Leinert, a 5'8 senior guard from nearby Gurnee, Illinois, checks into the lineup now for the Prairie Fire. Leinert averaging 9 points per game, playing about 24 minutes per contest for Knox College. Prairie Fire will bring it up right to left. They trail 9-0. McCall penetrates, dumped behind to Potter. Now back over to Leinert. Up top to Ellis. Ellis just at the left elbow now. Dumps it inside. Goes to Potter. Turnaround shot off the glass and good. Got around to Monica Massini, who checked in at that last timeout. Also Morgan Vukovic in there for the Lady Reds. 9-2. in favor of the Reds. Morgan Harris now penetrates, breaks down the zone. They get it to Vukovic. Turnaround left baseline jump shot, no good. Battle for the loose ball. Foul's going to go on Massini. Getting inside position that time nicely was Haley Linhart. Linhart had position on the floor. Massini just ran right into her, trying to go for that loose ball off the right wing. Second foul on the Lady Reds here in this first quarter. Reds lead at 9-2. Ellis will take the dribble across midcourt. Picked up by Harris. Reds have been man-to-man here exclusively. Prairie Fire have been 2-3 zone, and we got a foul. Is trying to fight through the screen that time was Bailey Gilbert, who picks up the foul, knocking down McCall in the process. That's the third team foul on the Reds here. Autumn Kalis will check in now for Morgan Vukovic. Kalis, the 5'8 sophomore from Wilmette. 4.5 minutes to go, first quarter, 9-2 Reds. Prairie Fire with the ball. It's a pretty good team. It's a team, like I said, amongst the league leaders in the Midwest Conference in scoring coming in as McCall lowers her shoulder, goes to the basket, missing. Rebound, Bailey Gilbert. Tried to go down the left side that time and unable to finish. Now Kelber on the left wing. Back out to Kalis. Kalis, her first three attempt is good. Off the right elbow, Autumn Kalis in for the three. 12-2 Lady Reds, all of their field goals coming from behind the arc thus far. 3:50 to play here in this first quarter. Linehart going hard to the basket, right side, lays it up and in. Got around both Kalis and Gilbert that time. Didn't deny the dribble penetration. Outer to take the ball right to the rack for the layup. First 2 points for Linehart. 12-4 Reds. Harris off the right corner. Back up top to Kalis. Another three on the way, and it's good. Autumn Kalis, 2 for 2, coming off the bench with a pair of triples. 15-4, Reds in front. Kalis, one of the more efficient shooters coming into this game amongst the conference leaders in made threes coming in, averaging better than 3 per game. Ellis denied in the paint that time by Massini, who took it away. Turnover by the Prairie Fire. That is their first. Now inside they look for Massini. It was tipped away and picked up by Potter, Morgan Potter, credited with that steal. Now Ellis will set it up. 2:48 to play in the quarter. 15-4 Lady Reds. Working around near side, Linehart dumps it into Potter, guarded by Massini. Back up top to go. Thorne. Now to Linehart. Pull-up jumper at the free throw line. Good for Linehart. Told you, she's pretty good. Haley Linehart, 5'8 senior guard out of Gurnee, averaging 9 points per game. She has 4 off the bench here in the first quarter. 15-6 Reds lead, 2:18 to play. Harris driving out of the right corner. Up top to Kalis, around to Gilbert left side. Cross-court feed to Calvert. 3 on the way from the right side, too strong. Harris in position for the rebound. Gets it back out to Calvert, low reload. Morgan Harris, among the conference leaders in rebounding. Coming in just a scooch under 10 per game. Kalis another 3, that one is short. Rebound into the corner, picked up by Gilbert. Second offensive rebound on this set. Minute 50 to go in the quarter. Calvert now off the right wing to Kalis, middle of the floor, reversing left side to Gilbert. 3 on the way. That one is no good. The rebound pulled in by Linehart. Carthage content to fire from long distance with the Knox College playing the 2-3 zone. Potter with it to Ellis. Right wing 3 on the way, in and out. Rebound to Morgan Harris. Harris already with 4 boards so far. Now Kalis reversing right side Gilbert, right corner Harris. Harris dribbles out of the right corner. Will shoot over the Massini screen. Hits and fouled. 3-point play up coming up for Morgan Harris. Did a nice job accepting that pass out of the right corner. And got around Linehart with the left-hand dribble. Massini setting a nice screen, and Linehart, as Morgan Harris got past her, got in with the foul. So Harris, one of the better free throw shooters in the conference, better than 75% at the line for the and one, and hits it. She will come out. Sammy Woodward The 5'7" sophomore from the Prairie School enters for the first time for the Lady Reds. Morgan Leslie in there now, a 5'10" freshman for the Prairie Fire. Ellis now with the ball, top of the circle. Works it around far side in the hands of Chanel Borth. Just checked in at that last free throw. Ellis tried a bounce feed, wanted to dish it off to Huffman. It's taken away by Kalis, but then broken up by Leinhardt. Back the other way comes Knox. Under a minute to go now in this first quarter. Reds lead it by 12. Leinhardt, deep three, left side, good. Leinhardt, the spark for the Prairie Fire. She's come off the bench for 7 of her team's 9 points here in this first quarter. 25 seconds to go in the quarter. Kalis, top of the circle. Off to Gilbert, right side. Right corner, Woodward. Inside it'll go. Sidlowski working the post. Lays it up off the glass. Wouldn't fall. Rebound cleared out by Morgan Leslie. Prairie Fire with a final shot here. If they want it, they don't. They go to Ellis inside. Ball broken up, taken away by Kalis. 5 seconds to go in the quarter. Kalis to Kalber, 3 on the way. Got it! A buzzer beater. Maddie Kalber from the right wing, well behind the arc, drills the triple. She has 12 first quarter points. The Reds lead it after 1, 21-9. Back second quarter play after this. You're listening to Lady Reds basketball on Kenosha's radio station, AM 1050 WLIP. Lady Reds up by 12, 21-9 as we start our second quarter. John Weiser back with you at the Tarble Arena in Kenosha. First ever meeting between these two schools. Prairie Fire with the ball to start this second quarter. Shot up and no good by Morgan Leslie. The rebound cleared out of there by Berrigan. It'll be Kalis, Berrigan, Woodward, Sidlowski, and Kalber on the floor for the Lady Reds. Kalber with 12 first quarter points. Left alone in the left corner, dribbles away, now pulls up and it rims out. Little pull-up 20-footer that time by Kalber would not go down. The rebound cleared out by the Prairie Fire. Ellis off to Huffman. Her first game back after missing the last 3 because of injury. Up top to Leinhardt. Leinhardt off the bench for 7 for the Prairie Fire in that first quarter. Now they get it around to Borth. Borth puts it up short, air ball underneath, picked up by Autumn Kalis. Reds out rebounding Knox 15-8 here in the early going. Kalis now inside to Berrigan, back out to Woodward, 3 on the way, that one is short. The rebound pulled in by Huffman. Huffman averaging 9.5 boards per contest. Now Ellis, dribble penetration to the basket, off the glass, no. And the rebound by Sidlowski. Ellis took a pretty good shot that time on her way to the basket. Lost her footing as she ran into Sidlowski underneath. Now the pass by Kalis, too far for Berrigan, a turnover for the Lady Reds, their 4th. Morgan Harris will check in for Autumn Kalis. Also in Bailey Gilbert, she'll come in for Maddie Kalber. Back in for the Prairie Fire, Geraldine McCall. And Carly Thorne also back in now for the Prairie Fire, along with Morgan Potter. 21-9, Lady Reds, 8.5 minutes to go here in this second quarter. Worth will fire and hit. Carly Thorne, with that 3-pointer, top of the circle. First points of the game for Thorne, 21-12. Now Berrigan, touch pass back out to Sidlowski. Cross court to Gilbert. Gilbert up to Harris, middle of the floor. Back to Gilbert. Again, a 2-3 zone exclusively here by the Prairie Fire. Harris dribbles, penetrates the zone, dumps it back to Woodward. Now cross court to Gilbert. Turnaround shot by Sidlowski off the right block is good. Gilbert fed that ball to Sidlowski. She wasn't quite set to shoot. She just kind of turned and shot all in one motion. And Sid the Kid able to knock it down. First 2 points for Sidlowski. 23-12 Lady Reds. 7.5 minutes to play in this first half. Tried to force it inside. Berrigan able to take it away from Huffman. Now Harris will take it across midcourt for the Lady Reds. Works it to Woodward, back to Harris. Harris dribble penetration, pulls up right at the free throw line, shot on the way, no good. Rebound pulled in by Huffman. Now Thorne will settle it down. Gets it to McCall. Back around to Leinert. Now to Thorne. McCall for 3 from the right wing. That's off the heel, no good. Rebound Morgan Harris. Harris with 5 off the glass so far. Tried to drive the basket, had it stripped out by Leinert. McCall comes back the other way. McCall back to Leinert. Leinert dribble around Harris for the 3, no good. Rebound Woodward. She'll settle it down with 6:40 to play in the half. 23-12 Lady Reds. Turnaround shot by Berrigan right to the free throw line, no good. Rebound Harris takes it all the way back up top to Bailey Gilbert. Gilbert back to Woodward left side. Now reversing right side to Harris. Cross court to Woodward left wing. Drives, pulls up, dumps to Berrigan, floats with the right hand, and it curls around and in. Maggie Berrigan, a little teardrop around the rim and through. Her first 2 points of the game, 25-12 Lady Reds. McCall with it on the right side. Dumps it in. Low block Huffman. Her turnaround shot, air ball, goes out of bounds to the Lady Reds. Kalber, Vukovic, and Massini checking in for Sidlowski, Berrigan, and Woodward. Also Ellis back in for the Prairie Fire, along with Chanel Borth. Again, the Prairie Fire sitting in a 2-3 zone. As they have all year, about 95% of the time they'll play zone. Kalber backs it off, gets it to Harris. Back out to Kalber for 3 on the way, short. Rebound inside, pulled away by McCall. Gives it up to Ellis, quickly up the floor, into the hands of Thorne. Now Ellis with it, top of the circle. Works it around to McCall, left wing. Inside it goes to Potter. Potter working on Massini. And we got a whistle and a foul. And it's going to go on Massini, leaning in with the right arm. Kind of had her arm perched on Potter's back that time. Wasn't much of a shove, just kind of laying there. Really didn't need to do that. She had position on the floor, but Massini picks up the foul, her second. First foul of the second quarter on the Lady Reds. McCall now penetrates, jump stop in the paint, goes off the glass, no, got her own rebound, and the stick back is good by McCall. Missed on the initial attempt. I think she surprised herself as she got that jump stop right in front of the basket, but gathered herself off the rebound and stuck it back for her first points. 25-14 Reds. Harris top of the circle. Massini right of the free throw line jumper on the way, no good. McCall with her second straight defensive board. Reds out rebounding Knox 21-13 here through the first half. 4:38 to play, 25-14 Reds. McCall dumps it to Potter, left lane, lays it up and in, got away with a walk as she laid it up and in. Timeout Carthage. Be a 30-second timeout with exactly 4.5 minutes to go in this second quarter. Not able to stop the dribble penetration, the Lady Reds here, and I think that gets them in trouble, throws them out of sync, and that's what Tim Bernero talking to them about during this timeout. Prairie Fire just 29% from the field, 7 of 24, 2 of 7 from behind the arc. Lady Reds at 34%, 9 for 26, 6 of 16 shooting the long ball. 21-13 rebound advantage Reds. Carthage turning it over 5 times. The Prairie Fire turning it over 3 times. Lady Reds have led the entire way thus far. Harris, Massini, Gilbert, Vukovic, and Kelber on the floor for the Lady Reds. Kelber now in the right corner. Back up top to Harris, around to Gilbert. Back to Harris, top of the floor. Now on the dribble penetration, dumps it back to Kelber. She walked. She knew it. Tried to make an extra move and forgot to put the ball on the floor. 6th turnover by the Reds here in this first half. 25-16 Carthage. Clock approaching 4 minutes to play here in this second quarter. Ellis gave up the dribble, now finds McCall on the right wing. Up top it'll go, into the hands of Leslie. McCall back to Ellis. On the left side, now Leslie with it, middle of the floor. Back to McCall, guarded by Gilbert. 7 on the shot clock. Leslie feeds it inside to Potter. Potter put it down low, goes up, missing. Rebound loose in the paint, got a tie up and a shot clock violation before the held ball. It'll be Carthage basketball off the clock violation. Good job by Massini inside. She bothered the shot once Potter got it on the left block. Missed her initial attempt when the rebound came in. Tried to tie her up. Forced the shot clock violation as that ball did not hit the rim. Now Gilbert to Vukovic. 20-footer left side, good for Morgan Vukovic. The senior out of Mukwonago with her first 2 points of the ball game. 27-16 Lady Reds, 3:15 to play. We're in the second quarter. Fast-paced ball game here, not a lot of stoppage of play. Ellis alone on the left arc, dribbles in, bounce feed back to the free throw line. Leslie gives it back to Ellis from 20, no. Rebound Potter. Potter in the paint, trying to weave her way around, threw it off the bottom of the rim, and it's picked up by Vukovic. And got herself too deep that time in the paint. Harris driving coast to coast, kicks it back to Kelber. Kelber for 3, got it off the right wing. Maddie Kelber with 15 here today. 5 for 9 shooting, 5 for 8 behind the arc. 30-16 Lady Reds. Just like last Saturday, where she had 21 at the break. She's got 15 thus far. Now Vukovic broke up the pass, but Ellis picks it up on the left wing. Now driving. Cut off, spins back with a dribble and hits. Not much there, and tough shot for Ellis. She was bothered by both Harris and Vukovic. Just enough space to get that shot away. 30-18. Now Vukovic out of the right corner. Inside feed to Massini, will lay it up low right and in. Monica Massini with her first 2. 32-18 Reds. 1:50 to play in the first half. On the drive, McCall. Bounce feed through the fingertips and out of bounds off of Ellis. McCall wanted a bounce pass that time to Talia Ellis, but Ellis could not corral the pass. Autumn Kalisid now replacing Morgan Harris. Rachel Sidlowski in for Monica Massini. Carly Thorne back in now for the Prairie Fire along with Leinhardt. Again in that 2-3 zone. Gilbert alone for 3, left side, good. Just going to keep shooting over that zone as long as the Reds are hitting better than 30%. They'll keep doing it. 35-18, largest lead now at 17 for the Lady Reds with 1:23 to go. Now turning off the glass too strong was Chanel Borth. Rebound cleared out by Sidlowski to Kalis. Sidlowski with 6 boards here in this first half. Reds 23-14 advantage on the glass. Now cross-court feed intended for Kelber, thrown away from Gilbert. Leslie back in now for Knox. 65 seconds to go in the half. Carthage, the #1 defensive team in the CCIW, coming into play today. To get it inside to Potter, a little short right hand over Sidlowski is good. Potter with 6. 50 seconds to play in the half. The Reds coming in #1 in field goal percentage at 35%. #1 in three-point field goal percentage. 28%. The pass inside tipped out of bounds. Carthage ball underneath with 41 seconds to play. Vukovic, nice move around. Potter lays it up low left. Morgan Vukovic with a couple of nice slick moves in the paint. Got herself around Potter for the layup. Vuk now with 4 points, I should say. 37-20. 22 seconds to play in the half. Thorne for three. No good. Rebound, Sidlowski. Carthage can play it for one here with 15 seconds to go in the half. Kalis across midcourt, stops at the center circle. Works it off right side to Gilbert. Back to Kalis, reversing left side Calvert. Now Kalis again, right side to Gilbert. Three on the way. Good for Bailey Gilbert. An NBA three as time expires here in this first half. A 20-point Lady Red lead through the first 20 minutes. 40-20 Carthage. We'll pause and take a 2-minute break. Back to run the numbers from the Tarble Arena right after this on AM 1050 WLIP. Thank you, Chris Dozy. Thank you. Carthage Lady Red basketball on 1050 WLIP and on the stream at WLIP.com. Brought to you in part by Armored Seal Coating. For patching, crack filling, striping, and complete seal coating, go to ArmoredSealCoating.com. By Luigi's Pizzeria, dine in and take out and delivery at 39th Avenue, just south of Highway 50. By Anastos Motors, Kenosha's premier pre-owned dealership. They're located on Green Bay Road and 45th Street in Kenosha. By Triangle Flooring, Furniture and Appliance Center on Highway 50 and 39th Avenue in Kenosha. By Lou Perini's Gas and Groceries. Lynch Chevrolet of Kenosha, east of I-94 and Highway 50. Nobody sells for less than Lynch. S.J. Crystal's Menswear on the corner of 57th Street and 6th Avenue in downtown Kenosha. By Mason's Eatery and Pub on Highway 50 just west of Green Bay Road. Don't be a chain eater, eat at Mason's. Dave's American Discount Muffler, honest and dependable service on Sheridan Road in Kenosha. By Something Different, a sports fan's fantasy land, that's 6th Avenue in downtown Kenosha, or online at NFLmerch.com. By Wingstop of Kenosha on Highway 50, they are the wing experts. Coliseum Games, southeastern Wisconsin's premier game store. By Ruffalo's 2 Pizzeria and Family Restaurant on 45th Street, just west of 39th Avenue. And by Kenosha Nissan. Check them out online at KenoshaNissan.com. Talking about a bookend to a first half, Lady Reds opened up the ball game on a 14-2 run. They closed out the first half on a 14-2 run, and they lead it here by 20. 40-20 your score at the half. The Knox Prairie Fire shooting just 9 of 31 in that first half. 29%. They were just 2 of 8 shooting the 3 ball, 25%. Prairie Fire getting 7 points off the bench by Gurnee native Haley Linhart. Linhart going 3 for 4 and 1 for 2 behind the arc off the bench for 7 points to lead her team in scoring. Morgan Potter with 6, 3 for Carly Thorne, and 2 each for Geraldine McCall and Talia Ellis. What's amazing here is McCall averaging 16 points a game and Potter averaging 13 points a game, and the Reds have done a nice job defending their top scorers for the Prairie Fire through the first 20 minutes. Again, the Prairie Fire just 29% shooting, 25% behind the arc. Meanwhile, the Lady Reds getting another hot performance from Kenosha's Maddie Kelber. The sophomore out of Indian Trail High School, 15 points in that first half, 5 of 9 shooting, 5 of 8 from behind the arc. She is the only player for either team in double figures with 15. 6 each for Bailey Gilbert and Autumn Kalis. Gilbert 2 for 6 from behind the arc, and Kalis 3 in the arc. 4 points for Morgan Vukovic off the bench, 2 for 3 shooting. 3 points for Morgan Harris, and 2 points each for Rachel Sidlowski, Maggie Berrigan, and Monica Massini. Lady Reds 15 of 32 in that first half, 46%. 9 of 19, 47% behind the arc, and only 1 trip to the line, and that was an and one by Morgan Harris for the game. Just 1 free throw attempted and made by either team. Rebounding, Lady Reds dominating the glass here, 25-14 on the glass. Out of the 25 boards for the Lady Reds, 6 on the offensive glass. They were led by Rachel Sidlowski with 7 rebounds, Morgan Harris with 6. Prairie Fire just 14 boards, 3 on the offensive glass, 4 rebounds each by Geraldine McCall and Kira Huffman. Turnovers, Lady Reds with 7 in that first half, Knox with 4. And off those turnovers, points off turnovers here, Reds with Knox getting 10 points off of the 7 turns. Carthage with just 3 points off of their 4 turns forced on the Prairie Fire. Prairie Fire with just 5 assists in that first half on their 9 made baskets. Carthage with 14. Reds with 1 block and 3 steals. The block belonging to Maggie Berrigan. Berrigan also credited with a steal, as was Autumn Kalis and Monica Massini in that first half. The Prairie Fire, no blocks and 4 steals, 2 by Geraldine McCall, 1 each by Morgan Potter and by Haley Linhart. Your score here at the half, 40-20 in favor of the Lady Reds. We'll pause, we'll take another 60 break. When we come back, we'll break down some of the scores around the CCIW. Our halftime continues here from the Tarble Arena in Kenosha. Lady Reds in front, 40-20 on Kenosha's radio station, AM 1050 WLIP. Lady Reds in front here at the half by a score of 40-20 at the Tarble Arena in Kenosha. Other scores in the CCIW finals from earlier this afternoon. Wheaton defeated Finlandia. It was the Thunder 85, the Lions 50. Wheaton holding the Finlandia Lions to just 2 second quarter points in that victory. So the Wheaton Thunder now 6-3 on the season. The Big Blue from Milliken improved their record to 4-5 this afternoon with a victory over Lawrence, 70-38, the final in that one. Lawrence falling to 2-8 on the season. Later on this afternoon, North Park hosts Carleton. Later on tonight, a couple of big ball games. North Central hosting Dubuque. While down in Bloomington tonight, Illinois Wesleyan just sitting under the top 25 this week in the D3Hoops.com top 25 poll. The Titans will be hosting UW Stevens Point. Also later tonight, it'll be Augustana taking on Linfield. Over on the men's side, the Redmen getting set to take on Calvin this afternoon. That game about to tip off at 4 o'clock in Grand Rapids. Carthage and Calvin tonight. Redmen will be in Florida, in Miami, Monday and Wednesday this coming week. We will have both games here on 1050 WLIP. Meanwhile, Wheaton takes on Finlandia. North Park will take on Lake Forest this afternoon. Also later this afternoon, Augustana, the third-ranked team in the country, will take on Central of Iowa. And tonight, it'll be it'll be Elma and Wheaton tonight at Wheaton College. Made a mistake there. So it's North Park at Lake Forest, Augustana at Central of Iowa, and Elma at Wheaton. Your score or your games going on later today. And of course, Carthage at Kelvin in Grand Rapids. That game about to tip off at the top of the hour. NCAA Division III football season came to a close last night down in Salem, Virginia, and what a defensive battle it was as number 2 Mount Union, the Purple Raiders, once again winning their 13th national title as they blanked Mary Hardin Baylor by a score of 12-0. It was the lowest scoring championship game in the history of Division III football as the Mount Union Purple Raiders getting field goals in the second quarter, led 3-0 at the half, getting a late touchdown and a field goal in the fourth quarter to shut out Mary Hardin Baylor 12-0. For the Crusaders, Carl Robinson threw for 106 yards. For the Purple Raiders, it was D'Angelo Fulford throwing for 137 yards. Joanza Evans-Morris with 45 yards rushing, and Justin Hill with 73 yards receiving. Each team turned the ball over twice. You talk about an even ball game. The Mount Union got a total of 229 yards of offense. Mary Hardin Baylor just 154. Each team turned it over twice. Time of possession in that ball game almost dead even. 30-51 for Mary Hardin Baylor, 29-9 for Mount Union. But it was the Purple Raiders picking up their 13th national title in football, shutting out the Mary Hardin Baylor Crusaders last night in Salem, Virginia, 12-0, the final in that one. So here the Lady Reds leading by 20 at the break, 40-20 your score. Lady Reds will be in Florida as well next week. They will be in Daytona Beach, Florida for a pair of noon ball games. They'll take on Drew University on Wednesday, and then on Thursday, Simpson College will be the opponent down in Daytona. Meanwhile, the Redmen will be in Miami, Florida next week, Monday and Wednesday evenings, as the Redmen will take on Washington and Lee Monday night, school out of Virginia, and that will be a 7 o'clock Central Time tip. We will have the broadcast for you beginning at 6:45 on Monday night. Or check that, a 5:45 tip if I can get my schedule correct here. That'll be the Monday night game against Washington and Lee. That'll be a 6 o'clock tip. 5:45 our pregame here on 1050 WLIP. Wednesday night against Southern Vermont College. They're off to a 7-1 start, the Mountaineers, and they are at 7-1 out of the New England Athletic Conference, and they will be the opponent. That'll be a 7 o'clock tip on Wednesday night, a 6:45 broadcast time here on 1050 WLIP. Our next Lady Reds broadcast will be Saturday, December 30th, when the Lady Reds travel to Ripon, Wisconsin to take on Ripon College. That'll be a 1 o'clock tip. We'll be with you at 12:45 Saturday afternoon, December the 30th. And And then conference play returns Wednesday, January 3rd, right here at the Tarble Arena. It'll be Lady Reds basketball taking on Wheaton in a big ball game for the Lady Reds. And the Redmen get back in action after the first of the year. They'll play the 2 down in Florida, and then they do not play again until Wednesday, January 3rd, as they are at Carroll, but then they take on Illinois Institute of Technology on Saturday, January 6th. That game's been moved to a 7 o'clock tip, a 6:45 broadcast on 1050 WLIP. Both teams ready to go here for the start of our second half. Lady Red basketball to open up play here in this third quarter, leading 40-20. Abby Burmeister holding the basketball here, set to give it to the Lady Reds. They'll put it in play, and we are underway. Third quarter, Reds going right to left. And again, a 2-3 zone set up here by the Prairie Fire. Kelber off the right side. Her three-point attempt no good. Rebound tracked down by Carly Thorne. McCall, Potter, Ellis, Huffman, and Thorne on the floor for the Prairie Fire as Ellis fires the three and hits. Talia Ellis, the 5'4 junior out of Chandler, Arizona, knocks down the triple to open up our second half. 40-23, Lady Reds. Berrigan, Sidlowski, low right, banks it in. Worked her way around the mismatch with Geraldine McCall. And Sidlowski gets her first basket of the second half. She has 4 points. 42-23 Reds. McCall for three, a deep one straight on, missing. Morgan Harris clearing the boards, her 7th rebound of the ball game. Now Berrigan, free throw line, same spot, looking for Sidlowski, got away from McCall, count it, and one. What a struggle there by Sidlowski, wrestling that ball away from McCall, low right. Finally stripped her of it, and then went up low right, banked it in, fouled, and at the free throw line. Just the second trip to the line by either team here today, as Sidlowski missing the free throw, rebound by Potter. 44-23 Carthage. Just underway third quarter. Potter with it between the rings, slings it off left side to McCall, guarded by Gilbert. Gilbert giving her some space. Now to Ellis in the left corner, looking inside to Potter, and Sidlowski commits the foul. Got tangled up, got her arm tangled up. Her left arm inside the right arm of Potter that time, and whistled for the foul. Second foul on Sidlowski, each team with a foul here in this third quarter. McCall with it up top to Thorne, tried to slam it into Potter, and it was kicked by Kelber. Side out here. Actually, they'll make them put it in play here from underneath, left of the basket. Ellis looking to trigger, gets it into McCall. McCall getting past Gilbert, blocked by Berrigan, picked up by Bailey Gilbert. Berrigan able to slide over and help out that time on McCall. Now Kelber to Harris, back to Kelber, high right wing. Guarded by Thorne into the right corner. Sidlowski goes back up top to Harris. Touch pass back to Gilbert left side. Now inside to Berrigan. Back across to Kelber. Right wing three on the way. That's off the heel, no good. Rebound Berrigan. Gets it to Sidlowski, driving in the paint around Potter, going high glass, missing. And the rebound by Kira Huffman to Ellis. Down the floor to McCall. Step back three off the left wing. Rims out. Rebound Berrigan. Clears it out to Harris. 7:50 to go, third quarter. 44-23 Reds. Gilbert now, bounce feed, right corner Sidlowski, back up top to Harris, ball fake, puts it on the floor, dumps it down low left, and the layup by Berrigan is good. Harris able to put that ball on the floor, a little shoulder fake, then the dribble into the paint, and a nice dish to Berrigan low left for the finish. Berrigan now with 4. 46-23. Pass deflected by Sidlowski and taken away by Berrigan. Gives it up to Bailey Gilbert across midcourt. Down the floor to Kelber. Kelber driving in from the right corner. Shoveled it back to Sidlowski, back to Berrigan. No look pass to Gilbert. Three on the way, left wing. Yes, sir. Berrigan with the assist. Gilbert with the triple. She has 9. Timeout, Prairie Fire. It'll be another 30-second timeout. Reds 4 for 7 here in this second half. 1 for 3 behind the arc. Prairie Fire just 1 for 4 That a three-pointer by Ellis to open up this third quarter. Kalber with 15, the leading scorer for the Lady Reds. Gurney's Haley Lenhart with 7, leading the way for the Prairie Fire. Out of Galesburg, Illinois. It's about what, halfway, but about 2 hours, 200 miles or so south of Chicago, about 200 miles north of St. Louis. And I'm not the trip advisor, so you won't see any reports from me down there. Lady Reds now a little look at a zone. Now they break it out into man, and now Berrigan with her second block of the half. Ball loose inside. Sidlowski had it, lost it. Ellis picked it up and was fouled as going over her back was Sidlowski, trying to tie her up for a held ball. Rachel Sidlowski picks up her third foul. That ball came out after the block by Berrigan on the floor. Ellis was rolling around on the floor. And as Sidlowski tried to go over her back to tie her up, commits the foul. So Sidlowski comes out. Autumn Kalis in for the Lady Reds as they get it in quickly, and the shot and air ball missed that time by Borth, who just checked in. Harris able to take the rebound. She now has 8. Kalber driving left side, pulls up in the paint to Berrigan, back out to Gilbert, around to Kalis. Reds executing good ball movement here on their passes. Now Harris out of the left corner, no good. Rebound right side, tipped around and finally brought down by Ellis. Berrigan trying to get her fingers on it that time. They try and work it hard into Borth. Ellis's pass errant, goes out of bounds. Turnover, Prairie Fire. Second turn of the half, 6 for the ball game for Knox College. 6:15 to go here in the third. 49-23 Lady Reds. Kalis to Kalber to Berrigan. No look to Harris. Harris driving out of the left corner. Skip pass to Gilbert. Back to the right corner now to Harris. Cross court to Kalber, driving in left side. Pull up 15-footer. Crawls off the rim, no good. Battle for the loose ball. Lenhart tips it over to Ellis. Ellis will bring the dribble down. Ellis drifts to the left, gives it off to Lenhart. Back up top it'll go. Thorne to Lenhart. Now inside it goes Potter. Potter walked with the basketball, throws up an errant shot. Rebound inside Borth, goes strong, missing. Rebound loose inside. Harris comes away with it. Morgan Harris at her season average now at 9 boards. Now Gilbert back to Harris, driving in from the right side. Ball deflected out by Potter. Carthage will keep possession underneath. Leslie will check in now for the Prairie Fire along with McCall for both Potter and Thorne. Monica Massini will check in for Berrigan. Quite the third quarter for Berrigan. A couple of blocks here in this third quarter for Maggie Berrigan. Kalber off the inbound feed fires a 3. That's no good. Leslie with the rebound for Knox. 49-23 Carthage. 5:10 to play here in this third quarter. Ellis now from the left wing. Bounce feed to Borth. Cross court to Lenhart. Lenhart lost control of it. It's loose. Tied up by Kalis. A held ball. Prairie Fire will keep possession here with 13 on the clock. McCall will trigger the inbound from the right corner. Gets it to Ellis. Ellis now back to McCall. The right elbow up top and reversing around now to Lenhart. Lenhart working on Kalis with the dribble. Back up top to McCall. 2 with 1. She didn't get it away. That should be a shot clock violation, and finally they wave it off. As McCall, the ball was still in her hand when the shot clock hit 0 and the backboard lit up. So the second shot clock violation by the Prairie Fire today. 49-23 Reds, 4:40 to play, third quarter. Massini free throw line jumper, that one's too strong. Rebound Borth, clears it out to Ellis. Ellis now on the drive, scoop off the right wing and lays it in and good. Got swatted across the face as well. No foul called as she's grimacing heading back to her defensive position. Ellis now game high honors with 7, tying with Lenhart for the Prairie Fire. 49-25. Kalber with it on the near wing. To Kalis, middle of the floor, around the right side to Gilbert. Gilbert puts it on the floor. Back to Kalis for 3. No good. Rebound pulled in by McCall. Now to Ellis across midcourt. Back to McCall. Worked it inside to Borth, and Calvert crawled over her back for the foul. That's the 4th team foul on the Reds here in this 3rd quarter. Check that, team 3rd foul. Sammy Woodward will check in now for Maddie Kelber. Franksville in for Pleasant Prairie, if you will. And Reinhardt going up for that high pass was fouled immediately by Woodward. That is the 4th team foul and the last one to give here in the quarter. Again, in women's college basketball, you're allowed 4 team fouls per quarter. The 5th team foul becomes an automatic 2-shot foul. And for each foul afterwards, a 2-shot violation. 3:50 to play. 49-25, Lady Reds. We're in the 3rd here in Kenosha. Borth now, turnaround shot, right block, no good. Rebound pulled in by Massini. Good double team that time between Kalis and Massini. Kalis now back to Gilbert, to Harris trailing the play. Left-hand dribble, got the pass back to Gilbert. Touch pass to Kalis. Open 3 left side. Yes, sir, Autumn Kalis. Kalis for the triple out of the left corner. She now with 9. 52-25 Reds. 3:20 to play, 3rd quarter. Massini denies the pass inside for Leslie. Harris comes away with it. Long lead to Kalis. Kalis now cut off by Borth. Works it back up top to Gilbert. Around to Harris. Morgan Harris. Collides with Ellis. Kicks it back out to Woodward. Back to Massini. Free throw line. Looked inside for Harris. Knocked away by Borth. Out of bounds. Carthage will keep possession left of the basket as Vukovic will check in now, replacing Bailey Gilbert. Potter comes in, replacing Borth. And Thorne in for Ellis for the Prairie Fire. Lady Red ball left of the basket. Woodward, 3 immediately off the feed, no good. Rebound Harris, she'll take it back out. Morgan Harris now with 10 boards. Kalis now, back to Woodward. Open 3 left wing, rims out. Battle for the loose ball, and it's going to be foul on the Lady Reds. Ooh. That's a terrible call. Harris had position underneath. If we have a replay look here with the video today, I think we might be able to see. I thought Harris had the inside position, and it was McCall who went crashing into Harris, who had established position on the floor. We'll take one more look. Woodward's 3 bounced to the right side, and Harris was knocked off balance inside by McCall. Instead, the foul will be called on Massini, her 3rd. 2-shot violation, McCall able to hit the first. Second free throw is short, and the rebound pulled in by Morgan Harris. 11 boards on the game for Harris. Now Woodward with it. Between the circles, right side Harris. Back to Woodward, over to Kalis left wing. 3 on the way, got it. Back-to-back triples for Autumn Kalis, who now in double figures with 12. 55-26 Lady Reds, 2:20 to play, 3rd quarter. Reds now with 12 3-pointers today, 12 for 29. So the dribble goes out of bounds. It'll be Carthage ball, turnover Prairie Fire, their 2nd of the half. Check that they're 4th of the half. Kelber in for Harris. Reds out rebounding Knox, 34-25. Kalis now to Woodward, back to Kalis. To Woodward again, little 2-on-2 here. Now they're reversing around to Kelber, to Vukovic. Vukovic puts it on the floor, working on Leslie, cut off nicely. Now back out to Kalis for the triple, and it's good. 9 straight here for Autumn Kalis, quickly to 15. The lead now to 32, 58-26, Lady Reds. Leinart with it. Leinart threw it away. Looking for Thorne on the right wing. Overshot the target. Back-to-back turns now for the Prairie Fire. Kalis will bring it in from the backcourt with 1.5 minutes to play here in the 3rd. Redmond game just getting underway in Grand Rapids as Kalber knocks down the triple. Her first points of the second half, now with 18. Thorne brings it down, minute 15 to play in the quarter, to Leslie, to Leinart, now to Potter. Potter in the paint, turning left side, working on Massini. Cut off on the baseline, goes up, short, rebound Vukovic. And as she tried to dribble out of traffic, the foul call on Potter. Kira Huffman started our ball game. She played a little bit. She was 0 for 3. Has not played since the first quarter. You know, she's been battling an injury, but has not been in there since the first half. Now Kalber, skip pass to the corner, right side three, Woodward, back rim miss, and the long rebound picked up by Borth. She'll hand it off to Thorne. 34 seconds to go in the quarter as Thorne now with the dribble. It's around Kalber, hands it off to Borth. Borth, she tried to shoot over Kalber, blocked by Kalber, loose, picked up by Woodward. Kalber did a nice job, stayed in front of Borth that time, all the way around as she circled through to the right side. Kalis now with it, gives it off to Woodward with 10. Now with 8. Works it off to Kalis, to Vukovic, back to Massini. Massini going up low left, able to finish. Monica Massini to finish at the buzzer. She has 4, and the Lady Reds dominating this one through 3. We head to the fourth quarter with Carthage well in front. Lady Reds 63, Knox 26. Back after this 60 break on AM 1050 WLIP. Reds hold the Knox Prairie Fire just 2 for 12 in that third quarter. They've opened up a 63-26 lead as Massini's shot from the paint no good. Rebound cleared out by Potter. John Weiser back with you at the Tarble Arena. Glad you're along this afternoon. On AM 1050 WLIP and on the stream at WLIP.com. Leinart for 3, left side, in and out. Rebound Leslie, kicks it back to Thorne. Now around to McCall. Back to Leinart. Caught in the paint, tied up there. It should be a 3-second call. Let her get back out. Now McCall with it. Floats from the right side and hits. McCall with just 5 points, coming in, averaging a scooch under 16 per game. Limited to just 5 here today. Maddie Kalber for the pull-up 3. That one's no good. Rebound Potter. Potter now with 5 boards. Lead her team in that category. All Reds here today. A 14-2 run to open up the ball game. A 14-2 run to close out the first half. 20-point first half lead. Increase that lead here in the second half to 35. And the Reds will be in Daytona Beach, Florida, Wednesday and Thursday next week. Drew University and Simpson College, the opponents. The pass for Vukovic looking for Massini, broken up by McCall. Now Thorne takes it across midcourt. Down the floor to Leslie. Leslie over Woodward, banks it around and in. Leslie, her first 2 points of the afternoon, 63-30. It's the second basket. Now Autumn Kalis on a little pressure, turned the ball over. Borth and Ellis will check in for Potter and for Leinart. 63-30, Lady Reds in front, 2 minutes into our fourth quarter here at the Tarble Arena. Nice screen by Leslie, knocked Woodward off her stride. The shot up by Ellis, no good, and out of bounds. Air ball miss. It'll be Carthage ball. Michaelis able to break the pressure to Woodward. Woodward trying to get around Borth. Into the paint, ball deflected out by Borth as she tried to work that pass back to Vukovic. Borth slid in front, knocked it out of bounds. Kalber drifts through the top of the circle to Kalis now on the right wing. Cross court left side, it goes to Woodward. Back to Kalber, now to Woodward again. Bounce feed to Vukovic on the left baseline. Kalber up top, touch pass to Kalis, 3 on the way, no good. Massini had the rebound go through her hands. Ellis picks it up, outlets to Thorne the other way. Back out to Ellis, 7:20 to play. Reds up by 33. Thorne now, top of the circle. Gets it off to Leslie, back up top to Thorne, looking inside for Borth, knocked away by Massini. It'll be Prairie Fire ball with 9 seconds on the shot clock. They get it in. Shot taken by McCall, rims out, rebound Massini. She will bring it down for the Lady Reds, gives it off to Woodward. Now Vukovic driving out of the right corner, going glass and banks it in. Morgan Vukovic with 6 here today. Senior out of Mukwonago. 65-30, Lady Reds, 6:25 to play. Now Ellis to Leslie, driving in from the right side, got around both Kalber and Vukovic, missed the shot, and then flex out of bounds off of Borth. It'll be Carthage ball as we get some fresh players in now for the Lady Reds. As coming off will be Kalber and Kalis. They get a nice hand here. As checking in for the first time will be Michaela Giamarino, the 5'6" junior out of Villa Park. And also in for the Lady Reds, Ellie Haviland. Haviland, the 5'7" sophomore out of Antioch, transferred in at the break last year. Ball went out of bounds. It'll be Carthage ball here at the scorer's table. Actually a foul on Talia Ellis. First foul of our fourth quarter here. Well, after the parade at the free throw line Saturday, very few free throws here as the nice 10-foot jumper in the paint that time by Monica Massini rattles in. 6 points for Massini, 67-30, Lady Reds. Ellis now around to Leslie. Battle inside and the foul called as Massini and Borth got tangled up in the paint. Massini picks up her 4th foul. And she will come out. No, actually Vukovic will come out. As Gabby Bakute will come in now. Bakute, the 6'1" sophomore out of St. Charles East High School in St. Charles, Illinois. Leslie with it. Back up top to McCall. Driving in left side. Got around Haviland. Puts up the shot. No. Ball loose inside. And we got a held ball. It'll be Prairie Fire ball as Giamarino tied up Borth for that held ball. 5.5 minutes to play here in the fourth. 67-30, Lady Reds. They're going to get to 6-3 on the year. Prairie Fire going to fall to 7-3 on the season. And their 3rd game in 6 days here for the Prairie Fire. So perhaps that and the 4-hour travel contributing to a stifling defense put on by the Lady Reds as we get another tie-up between Borth and Giamarino. This time the held ball goes to the Lady Reds. Sinclair Lenardi coming in now for the Lady Reds, a 5'9" sophomore out of Bettendorf, Iowa, replacing Massini. It's a good time now to see some of these reserves. A good 5 minutes here. Obviously, Tim Bernero sensing this game in hand. Prairie Fire have stayed in this 2-3 zone the entire game. Reds have been able to shoot better than 46% in the game, and Bakute with the jumper off the right side, no good. Loose ball picked up by Ellis. Ellis down the floor. Works the left baseline. Now back to the right side, Leinart. Cross-court feed back to McCall for three. Off the rim, no. Rebound, Giamarino. She'll take the dribble and control it here for the Lady Reds with 4.5 to play. Haviland, near side Woodward. Around to Giamarino, to Lenardi. Back to Haviland, now back to Woodward. Three on the way, left side. Good for Sammy Woodward. And a substitution timeout here for the Lady Reds, as Woodward will come out hitting that three-pointer. Amanda Larson. First look at her, the 5'9" freshman at Grays Lake Central. All over but the shouting here. They're underway in Grand Rapids. 13 minutes to go first half. Carthage and Calvin tied at 12. We got a moving screen on Leslie that time, trying to set the pick for Ellis. Made contact with Lenardi. And the Prairie Fire going to press here, force a turnover. with a trip to Florida for 2 next week. It's a traveling violation on the Lady Reds. Drew University on Wednesday, and Thursday Simpson College, a pair of afternoon games. No broadcast, but Reds looking forward to the trip to Daytona. They'll leave Monday. Redmond will be in Florida, in Miami. Board a plane at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning out of Milwaukee. Shot missed, rebound cleared out of there by Josefowicz. Gets it back up top. Prohaska driving in left side, cut off by Leslie. Cross-court feed it goes to Larson. Back inside to Lenardi, who lays it up and in. Sinclair Lenardi with the layup. Her first points of the ball game. 77-33, Lady Reds. Fuji for 3 right wing. That one is good. Late 3 by Fuji. She has 4. Final 13 seconds here. Carthage will dribble it out and head to their 6th win of the year in convincing fashion, defeating the Prairie Fire 77-36 today here at the Tarble Arena in Kenosha. Clocks hit 0. It's in the book. 77-36, Lady Reds with the victory. They're 6-3 on the year. With the loss, the Prairie Fire fall to 7-3 on the season. 77-36, your final 2-minute game report, including a visit with head coach Tim Bernero. All of that coming your way after this 2-minute break on AM 1050 WLIP. Scott, how are we on spots? Okay, good. Carthage Lady Red Basketball on 1050 WLIP and WLIP.com. Brought to you in part by Anastos Motors. Get a 2-year maintenance program with any car you buy. By Triangle Flooring, Furniture, and Appliance Center. They're on Highway 50 and 39th Avenue, Kenosha. By Luigi's Pizzeria, dine-in and take-out and delivery at 39th Avenue, just south of Highway 50. By Armored Seal Coating. For patching, crack filling, striping, or complete seal coating, they're the pros to call. ArmoredSealCoating.com. By Lou Perini's Gas and Groceries, offering home delivery and special cash prices on gas. By our friends at Lynch Chevrolet of Kenosha. They're east of I-94 and Highway 50. Nobody sells for less than Lynch. For S.J. Crystal's Menswear. For the finest in men's fashions, it's always S.J. Crystal's, the corner of 57th Street and 6th Avenue in downtown Kenosha. By Mason's Pub and Eatery on Highway 50, just west of Green Bay Road. Don't be a chain eater, eat at Mason's. By Dave's American Discount Muffler, honest and dependable service on Sheridan Road, Kenosha. By Something Different, a sports fan's Fantasyland, downtown Kenosha on 6th Avenue, or online at NFLmerch.com. By Wingstop of Kenosha. They are the wing experts, located on Highway 50. By Coliseum Games, southeastern Wisconsin's premier game store, just east of 60th Avenue on 75th Street. By Kenosha Nissan, check them out online at kenoshanissan.com. And by our good friends at Ruffalo's 2 Pizzeria and Family Restaurant. They're located on 45th Street, just west of 39th Avenue in Kenosha. Game of runs here today for the Lady Reds. A 14-2 run to open up the game, a 14-2 run to close out the first half, and a 9-3 run to open up the third quarter. This one was never in doubt as Lady Reds pull away 77-36, the final here today. As Carthage going very well shooting the ball and playing probably their best defensive game of the year. This is the lowest point total allowed for the Lady Reds this season as they hold the Prairie Fire to just 24% shooting, only 21% here in this second half, as the Reds just dominated here all across the board. They out-rebound the Prairie Fire 46-34. Again, this is a team coming in +4 on the rebound this year, and this was a team coming in amongst the leaders in the Midwest Conference in shooting. Prairie Fire entered this ball game averaging 70 points a game. That was cut in half here today. And they were the #1 shooting team in the conference, averaging 44% from the field and hitting 34% of their three-point shots. And today, they finished at 24% shooting and 23% behind the arc. Lady Reds getting 2 players in double figures here today. Maddie Kelber with 18 points. She had 15 at the break and finished 6 of 13 from behind the arc today for her 18 points. And Autumn Kalis coming off the bench with 15 today. All 5 of her field goals from behind the arc for 15 points. She also dished out team-high 5 assists today from that position. She had a very strong game today. 15 points, 5 assists, 2 rebounds, and 1 steal for Kalis coming off the bench. Morgan Harris, a great game on the glass today. Balanced attack off the glass, and again, don't need to count on her for her scoring prowess that much with what the Lady Reds have, and Harris has become a better ball player of it because she is digging after the loose balls off the rebound. She got 11 rebounds today. She leads the conference in that category coming in. She'll now be over 10 rebounds per contest entering play on Wednesday. And she finished with 11 off the glass today. She also had 5 assists and 24 minutes of play here coming out very early in the fourth quarter. Reds for the game shot 46%. Here in the second half, they went 15 of 32, just a scooch under 50% for the game, 30 of 64, 46%. Reds in the second half were 7 of 19 shooting the 3. For the game, 16 of 38, 42% behind the arc. Only got to the line once. That was in the first quarter. A 3-point play by Morgan Harris, and she hit the and one. Otherwise, the Lady Reds only one other trip to the line, and that was Sidlowski missing an and one. So only 2 free throw attempts today, going 1 for 2. But didn't matter. They held the Prairie Fire to just 6 points in the third quarter, 16 in the second half, as the Lady Reds roll 77-36. For Knox today, they were led, no player in double figures, but they were led by Jerlyn McCall with 7, and Haley Leinhart out of Gurnee with 7 points. Leinhart 3 of 7, 1 for 4. McCall 2 for 13 today for her 7 points, and McCall coming in leading her team in scoring at just under 16 per game. And she was held exactly in half of her point total for the year with 7 points. Also, Talia Ellis with 7. 6 points for Morgan Potter. 4 points for Summer Fuji. 2 points for Morgan Leslie. 3 points for Kaylee Thorne. And again, Kira Huffman, if you're just joining us, she started the ball game, played the first half, did not play the second half. Played a total of 14 minutes in that first half. And went 0 for 3 from the field, but collected 5 rebounds and turned the ball over once. She's coming back from an injury, missed her last 3 ball games, but did not play in the second half. Hopefully she did not aggravate that injury, but again, only 14 minutes for Kira Huffman today. And Huffman coming in averaging 12 points, 9 rebounds per contest, and again, playing hurt. Did take, like I said, played 14 minutes in the first half and did not score for the Prairie Fire. Rebounding, Lady Reds dominate the glass here today, 46-34. 8 on the offensive glass for the Lady Reds. Leading rebounder was Morgan Harris with 11. Harris 4 on the offensive side for a total of 11. Sidlowski had 7. Leading rebounder for the Prairie Fire was Talia Ellis with 6. McCall and Potter each with 5. Turnovers, Reds turning it over just 4 times in the second half for a total of 11. And the Prairie Fire turning it over 6 times in that second half for a total of 12 in the ball game. Joined now by head basketball coach Tim Bernero, and Lady Reds now with their 6th win of the year, and pretty darn good job here. Pretty efficient here as far as what you did here today. A game of runs, 14-2 to start the game, 14-2 to end the first half, and it was on pretty much cruise control from there.
That's what we were just talking about a little. We need, sometimes it's just the simple stuff that gets it done. They were going to give you that zone the entire day. They came up and pressed a little bit toward the end, but we just needed to, I asked the question at halftime, why do we have 7 turnovers? They're back inside the three-point line for the most part. That's on us just getting to spots, getting our fundamental stuff, the footwork where you need to be, passing the ball to places, making yourself available to receive the passes, and we could do that. I think we talked a little bit before the game. We go, they're going to be in a 2-3 zone all day. We've got numerous people who can shoot the 3, so it could go the way it did because they didn't have another plan of guarding us. I thought we did a better job at points in the first half and then a lot more in the second half of including the post players to get the ball touched. I mean, it's hard to ask them to do all the dirty work and rebound and stuff like that if you're not going to let them touch the ball. And zones tend to kind of frustrate post players because there's people on either side of you all the time, and it's hard to get free. But I thought we did a pretty good job, getting the ball to the baseline, diving, making them have to account for us.
Maddie Kelber leading the team in scoring again here today with 18, 3 for 3 to start the ball game from behind the arc.
Yeah, and that the way they played the zone, we were able to rotate early, and then when Maddie made the first 3, they had to adjust a little bit what they were doing, and it got later on. You saw it toward the very last, I think it was the last 3 minutes of the first half, where they were so overcompensated that we got Bailey a couple of times where we just pump faked left because they were running toward where Maddie was, and just immediately, so you catch a pass, kind of pump fake it one way and go right back to where it came from because they were cheating to try to get to the other side, and we were able to get a couple there that Bailey made at the end of the first half.
The other night against Augustana, what did you held Augie to about 29% from the field? You come back out here today and you hold the Prairie Fire to just 25%, just under 25%, 24.6 shooting the ball.
And we talked about it because sometimes you get teams or individuals on certain teams that are scorers. And McCall's a volume shooter. She's going to take a lot of shots. I think Maggie said down there when we were talking about it, she was explaining to her dad, who's a coach, she said she's kind of like Carmelo Anthony. She's going to take a volume of shots. She can put it on the floor. She can shoot a 3. I thought, and this is the thing that's a little bit, we've talked about, I think, on other games, Bailey Gilbert's become an excellent defender. I mean, I think she came in, everyone said, well, there's a kid that can shoot the 3 and do, she does okay at other stuff. She's taken it because she's such a good kid and such a conscientious kid to it. She's taken that on as something to add to her arsenal, and it's invaluable. I mean, and same thing for Harris is, she doesn't get chances to score as much in some settings like this, but she's, again, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 turnover. Those are great numbers.
Again, it's not going to jump out at you in the box score, but again, you watch the game closely and you see these things. And I said on the air too, I says, this team has got such a balance on scoring. Your team, Morgan Harris becomes a better player now because she's digging after the 50-50 balls underneath defensively. I would hazard to say 7 of her defensive rebounds, I think 4 of them were that 50-50 variety that carry them around beyond the paint, and she's in there digging them out.
Right, and that's a credit to her because she's so relentless in that area. It's also something that I make sure I inform the other guards on, that you guys need to go in there, because sometimes some of our other guards tend to, either assume that she's going to do it. Even the post players say that, well, Morgan gets all the rebounds. Well, no, you guys get them. We try to do that equal opportunity where if everybody gets a handful, we don't have anybody right now that's other than it looks like Morgan, that's a double-digit rebounder. So, I thought Rachel started out the game rebounding the ball well. Bailey always gets her fair share. I thought Monica did a good job on the defensive boards. Vukovic is a good offensive complement, so in that zone, she can handle the ball a little bit and make some good choices, make some good passes, and finish some stuff there. So that's the thing. Given the parts we have, I'm still looking for everybody clicking at the same time, and it's hard because there's so many people that are capable, and we're still sometimes it's just by situation. Like in the first half, I put Vukovic in, and we talked about we were going to match to them when they played a 4-guard lineup. We were going to be able to play Bailey, so the 4th guard was McCall, and Bailey. I wanted Bailey guarding her. We were going to start that way, but then Huffman played. So when we came out of that first timeout, they subbed to the 4-guard lineup, and I just put Monica and Morgan Vukovic in the game, and Vukovic got caught in a tough spot because she was chasing their number 10 and number 31 off of double screens, and that's one of those things where it's just the matchup thing where I told her that I had to take her out kind of quickly, and I said, it's not anything you did, it's just that matchup is advantage them, so we went and switched it back the other way, but she did a good job in the minutes she got.
Well, now you've got 2 games coming up in Florida next week, Wednesday and Thursday, Daytona Beach, Drew University, and Simpson College.
Yeah, it's interesting because I was just joking with the kids in there. I go, they ask questions, in practice, because when you're playing games in a row like this, especially around the holidays, sometimes in practice you practice something for down the line. So we were practicing against a 1-3-1 zone, and somebody, the kids are very perceptive, and they go, well, are they going to run this tomorrow? And I go, no, don't worry about it, because that's what, but that's what Drew does. So we're going to, give them a peek ahead so they can see that, okay, that's what Drew's going to do. So, and I told them that in there, and even some of the offensive stuff, I said they're going to do more ball screens than what we saw today. So we practice defending ball screens, and so we're trying to include everything as we prepare. It's funny, we're in like we talked about breaking into the segments, we're in some sort of a zone segment right now because that was 40 minutes of zone. Drew's going to be the majority zone.
Pretty
Simpson
close,
presses and backs into a zone. They're in a 2-2-1 that rolls into a 2-3 or a 3-2. So that's where we're at right now. So we'll be polished up and be able to handle zones, and it's going to keep getting tougher. Drew's dangerous. Simpson's very good. They've played some common opponents of ours, and some of the scores make you think, well, we better be ready to play that one too. And they've traditionally been good. And then we'll get a couple days off to come back after Christmas and go to Ripon.
Yeah, the next broadcast here on 1050 WLIP of women's basketball will be the Ripon game up at, I think it's called Gillespie Court now up there at Ripon, isn't it?
Yeah, and the building's different. It used to be the Storzer Center, but I think whoever paid for the lights and the floor and everything gets to put their name on it. That's the rules, and then we all like that. Tarble Arena. And
brand new facility.
Yep.
Looking forward to that.
So that'll be nice to get a chance to go play them, and they're big. They're a different team. They'll play you man-to-man, but they're big, so it'll be a different challenge that way too. And then, I told the kids as a coach, coaches are always, you're always thinking about basketball-ish stuff. We're getting through the end of finals here right now. Some of them have to take some before we leave on Monday. But now it's a fun part where you go, okay, now we're going to go, it's a little warmer weather in Florida, and all we got to worry about is Drew and Simpson and enjoying the trip. And then Ripon before school starts, and even the Wheaton game here is before we get fired up in the classes again in J-term. So it's just all basketball for the next couple weeks with Christmas in the middle there, and hopefully we can make some strides in the games down in Florida.
Well, you and Rachel and the family have a very Merry Christmas, because I'm not going to be seeing you until after the Christmas holiday. I hope your family has a very good Christmas and enjoy the break, and we'll pick you up right before New Year's.
Yeah, thanks, John. I hope when you go back and bring the equipment, I hope the donuts are gone by now. Those guys would be stale now, but we had a little fun there, and
And again, Tim is on every Thursday morning at 6:15 with Bill Lawrence and Pete on the mornings here on 1050 WLIP. So we decided to go in live and bring them Kringle and donuts, and from what I heard, they had to swat Lenny away from the Kringle all morning long.
Well, the other thing is I don't think they understand the sacrifice that we made by going there. The Beverly Hillbillies are on at 6. I had to get out in the cold weather and miss the trip to London for
That's an hour
Jed
drive
and the
in for
gang.
me, too. I had to get up at 4 in the morning.
I know. We'll have to maybe we have a remote somewhere and water up at your house. We'll come out west and bring the boys out for on site. I don't know if Gina will be crazy about a bunch of people roaming around her house at 6 in the morning, but I don't know. Well, yeah, John, you and your family and everybody else, all the people listening and the people back at LIP, Merry Christmas, and we'll see you on the other side of Christmas and when we head to Ripon.
We'll do. Good luck in Florida, hey?
Thank you, John.
You bet.
Appreciate it.
Tim Bernero, head basketball coach for the Carthage Lady Reds, on the good side of a 77-36 victory over the Knox Prairie Fire. First ever meeting between these two schools goes to the Carthage Lady Reds. Again, Kalber with 18 today for Carthage. Autumn Kalis off the bench for 15. Bailey Gilbert with 9. 6 each for Rachel Sidlowski. Morgan Vukovic coming off the bench for 6. Monica Massini chipping in 6 points and 3 rebounds. And 4 points for Maggie Berrigan. And 3 points each for Taylor Josefowitz and for Morgan Harris. 3 also for Sammy Woodward, late 3 in the fourth quarter. 2 points for Sinclair Lenardi getting into the scorebook. Gabby Bakute getting into the scorebook with 2 today. And Ellie Haviland, Amanda Larson, Michaela Giamarino, and Kendall Prohaska all played, did not score for the Lady Reds here today. They out-rebound the Prairie Fire 46-34. Turnovers fairly even. 12 for Knox, 11 for Carthage here today. Only 8 assists for the 14 made baskets by the Prairie Fire. Carthage getting 28 assists on their 30 made baskets here today. The Reds now at 6-3 on the season, and the Prairie Fire fall to 7-3. They get their 2-game winning streak snapped here today as well. Carthage will take on Drew University next Wednesday afternoon at 11, actually Wednesday morning at 11 a.m. Central Time tip-off. Same for Thursday at Simpson, against Simpson. That'll also be an 11 a.m. tip. Our next broadcast of Lady Reds basketball will be on Saturday, December the 30th. Carthage at Ripon, and it'll be the Red Hawks and the Lady Reds. 1 o'clock tip-off, a 12:45 broadcast here on 1050 WLIP. And our next Redmond basketball game will be this coming Monday evening, December the 18th. It'll be a 6 o'clock tip Central Time from Miami Shores, Florida at Berry University. It'll be the Redmond and Washington and Lee with a 5:45 broadcast and a 6 o'clock tip. And then on Wednesday, December 20th, it'll be the Redmond and Southern Vermont College. Again, that will be a 7 o'clock tip, a 6:45 broadcast. Both games here on 1050 WLIP. My thanks to John Voinovich and Mike Love for producing the video stream here today. Scott DeLabio, once again, an outstanding job back at our Pleasant Prairie studios, engineering our broadcast here on 1050 WLIP. I'm John Weiser saying good afternoon from the Tarble Arena in Kenosha. Once again, your final, the Carthage Lady Reds over the Knox Prairie Fire, 77-36. Thank you for tuning into Carthage Athletics, heard exclusively on Kenosha's radio station, AM 1050 WLIP Kenosha. Have a great weekend, everyone.